Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to turn orange into a teapot. So I'll show you how you can create a product photography with everything Photoshop wise. So all we need is a teapot and an orange, a couple of different pictures of an orange. So let's go to File and we're going to open a new canvas and let's make it 30 by 24, make it quite big. Okay, 300 dpi. Let's go with white and okay. Okay, so we'll start with this one here. So we're going to change our color of our background. And we're going to make it an orange color here. Okay, so we'll take our paint bucket, drop that right on there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a lighter color here. So it's still kind of orangey white. Let's see, we'll just change this to a more orangey white here. Just here. And then we're going to take a new layer here for this one. And we're going to use a soft brush. And let's turn the opacity down on this actually. Right here. And we're just going to press it right in the middle here. Let's go one more time. Let's turn the opacity up on this actually to make it easier for you. So we're going to go in the center. I'm just going to press here and maybe another one. Okay, and maybe one more. Yeah, I think that looks quite good there. And then what we can do with that, because I've created it into a new layer, we can stretch this up here. If you want to stretch it up just a little bit more, center it just a wee bit here. Let's stretch it up some more. Just a wee bit more here. We can always adjust this as we're working on the image anyway, so that'll be fine just there. So it looks quite good there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our teapot. So we've got our oranges here, and then we've got an orange slice, and then we've got our teapot as reference. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's bring our teapot in first. Okay, and let's drag this onto our canvas. Okay. Now, we don't need to worry about converting this to a smart object because we're actually not going to use this teapot at all. We're just using it for reference for the shape that we're going to make the orange. Okay, so that's fine there. And then we are just going to bring in our orange. Let's go with the main orange first of all. Okay, and then we're just going to bring this into main canvas. And then we're just going to convert this to a smart object. And then we're just going to bring it up to the shape of our teapot here. That was quite good there. And then we're going to add a layer mask to this here. And then we're going to use a black brush, and we're going to use a hard black brush, so not a soft one. We're going to use a hard black brush. And then we are just going to size this down. And then we're just going to erase out. We'll make sure we're back up to 100% opacity. We're just going to erase out around this bit here. There, and then let's just adjust the size of this here just now. Okay, and then take our white brush. We're just going to bring it back in. Just here. Okay, now we can adjust as we go along as well. So let's just unlink here to our orange. Pressing a little unlink here so we can just stretch this out just a little bit this way. A little bit that way. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to go and we're going to get our next piece of orange here. It's going to be our orange slice. Okay. And we're just going to drag this into our main image here. And we're just going to place this on top here. Okay, and we're going to convert this one to a smart object as well. And let's just extend this out just a little bit more here. Okay. Fine, and then let's extend our main orange piece here. So we want it to join up to the top of the orange slice. I'll just change the shape of that in just a wee second. Okay, we'll add a layer mask to that just in case we need it just now. So let's go to our black brush and then we're just going to brush out right here. Okay, and let's go back to our orange slice and then we're going to hold down the command or control key and we're just going to warp this just a little bit here and a little bit here. Okay, I think that looks pretty good right there. And then we're just going to erase out the line there because it's just a little bit harsh. So go to a soft brush. You can see that line right here. I know it's kind of blending into the orange, but we want to blend it just a wee bit more. And that'll look pretty good there. Okay. And the next thing that we want to do is we want to create our spout. Okay. So we're going to go for our other orange here. So we'll go with the main orange again, bring it back in, and then we want to drag this into our main canvas, and then I want to get rid of that stem to the orange, so just going to rotate it round just a little bit like that there. And then what I want to do is add a layer mask to this here. Okay, and then we're going to just erase out the whole orange just now. Okay, just don't like to see it. And then I'm going to change to a hard brush, make sure I'm on 100%, and then we're just going to draw in here. So we're just going to draw so back to a white brush, and then we're just going to draw in the orange here. Now don't worry if it's tidy or a straight line, because it's an orange, it's not an actual teapot. So let's just get this in here. Doing it this way we can kind of control the shape of the handle. Just going to change the shape of it here, just so it's looking like it's more attached to the actual orange itself. Okay, I think I like the shape of that a lot better, so you can see how I've changed the shape of it just at the base and just at the top here, just to give it a wee bit more character to it. Okay, I think that looks quite good there. And then we've got our curves layer on it. So let's just brighten that just a little bit. And then again, on the layer mask, go to a black brush. We'll make it a soft black brush. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to gradually turn the opacity down. And we're just going to do that massive highlight right here, which is going to just let it blend in just a little bit better. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to then do our spout as well. So we're going to do the spout. So let's just bring in our main orange again. We use this one again to layer, and then let's just adjust this. Just like that there. Okay, and then we are just going to add a layer mask. So let's actually, before we do that, we're just going to, so top of pot, and then we've got the main pot, so spout. Best to name all our layers so we know exactly where everything is. Handle. Okay, so then we're going to go to our spout and we're going to add a layer mask to this here. Again, a hard brush, 100% opacity, and we're going to get rid of it first. Okay, then we'll go back to our white brush, which will allow us to then draw in the spout. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good there. That'll let us turn off our teapot now, so we don't actually need the teapot. And then what we want to do on the spout here, we want to create like almost like as if there's an opening here. Okay, so we're going to add a new layer above. We'll call it spout opening. Okay, and then we're going to use, so we're still in our orange, but we'll stay on a pretty bright orange bit here. Okay, so it's really bright. So let's just go to our hard brush again, and then we're just going to draw in a wee bit of shape here. Okay, that looks pretty good there. And then what we want to do is we want to then, now you can see that it does look like a little opening there, but what we want to do is we want to give a wee bit more dimension. Okay, so we add a new layer above, and then we're going to link it to our spout opening here. Okay, and then we'll change the colour, and we're going to go to a grey, like this here, but we want the opacity down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use a soft brush. Okay, and we're just going to start to brush in just here. Okay. Okay, and then let's just add a layer mask to that. And then we're just going to use a other brush here just to bring this back in a little bit. Do you see how that's given the impression there that now the spout has got an actual opening on it? Okay. Now we are going to add shadows and everything to it as well. So what we're going to do is on the actual spout itself, okay, we're going to add a curves layer, and then we're just going to bring this just up here just a little bit. Okay, and then a black brush, soft black brush, 100%, and we're just going to bring this back in here. Okay, pretty good there. And then on the spout itself, we're going to add another layer, and we're going to call this shadow. Okay, and then we are just going to edit, fill, 50% grey, and we're going to change our blend mode to vivid light. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to use our burn tool, and we're just going to start to bring in, let's just turn the opacity up. Oh, let's go to mid-tones, go to our opacity, bring it to about 31%, and then we're just going to create a little shadow just along here. So you see that that's actually created that little bit of shadow just at the actual spout itself. So the next thing that we're going to do is we want to add a little bit of shadow just to our handle as well. So let's just find our handle. We're going to add a new layer above. We'll burn this in, call it burn. So edit, fill, 50% grey, change our blend mode to vivid light, and then we're going to use our burn tool here, and we're on our mid-tones, and we're just going to bring this in here just a little bit. Good, right there. So that's us creating that little bit of shadow there, just from the, and then same here, let's just bring this shadow in just a little bit more here. Okay. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good there. And then the next thing that we want to do is we want to add the lid to the top of our orange here. So let's just go to our next piece we want to bring in, which is the orange lid here. It's just a different shape orange that I'm using for this one, slightly different shape, as you can see there. And we're just going to bring this straight into our canvas, bring it to the very top, and then we just want to shape this to the shape of a lid pretty much. So we're just going to use a layer mask, a black brush, and then let's just start to erase this out so we can shape it like a lid sitting on top. So it's not the same as what we had. So we're just going to bring this here down and curve it round. Best we can with the shape of a lid. Let's convert this to a smart object. So I want to bring a little bit more back into our orange now, so then we don't lose too much of it. So let's do this now. So shape like a lid there. So let's convert this to a smart object. Okay, and then we can add a layer mask again. Okay, so let's just use our black brush. Let's shape this. Okay, and then I want to stretch it out just a little bit. So let's just stretch it here and here. And then let's just tilt it, and we're going to sit it, I think, right about here on the orange. Okay, now at the moment it doesn't look like it's sitting there. Okay, so we're going to add a new layer, but it's going to be below the orange there. Okay, and we're going to use this colour right here for our, we're going to create like a little rim just here. Just creating a little edge. Don't worry if you go over, because we're going to just change this. So we're going over just a little bit. And again, it doesn't have to be majorly tidy because it is an orange. Mask, and then we'll use our black brush. And we're just going to adjust this just here. So that gives us just a little bit of a room to our orange there. And then we want to create a shadow here now on the top of the orange. Okay, so we'll call that orange lid rim and orange lid. I'm going to add a new layer below. So shadow of the lid. Okay. So let's take our black brush here, and then we're going to turn the opacity down here, and again it's going to be a really soft brush. What we want to do is we want to just continuously, now don't worry if you go over, because we're going to bring that back in. So one stroke all the way down, and then the shape of the orange lid is going to kind of create this wee bit of a shape here. Okay. So that's one there, and then let's do another one. And then let's turn the opacity down on this again. Just a wee bit more here. Okay. And then we're going to add a layer mask to this here now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a hard brush, 100%, change it to a hard brush. Just going to bring that to there, and then the same along the edge of the orange here. Okay, that looks quite good there. And then we're then going to take our opacity down on this. So we want to be on a soft brush. Again, turn the opacity down on it. So right down here. Then we're just going to brush this. Okay. Turn the opacity up on this a wee bit more. A soft brush. Turn the opacity down, and then we're just going to brush this here. Okay, and just a wee bit along here. That's pretty good there. So as you can see, that's giving the impression that that is just sitting on the top of the orange there. So now what we want to do is we want to create underneath the bottom, before we do anything else, at the bottom of our orange here, okay, let's just take all of our layers here of the orange, and we're just going to shrink it down. So make sure we're linked here. So we shrink the orange down so we're happy where it's going to be. What we're going to do is we're going to add a shadow to the bottom of the orange, which is going to make it look like it's actually on the ground there. Okay, so let's just add this in here. We're going to call this shadow. Okay, and then we're going to take a brush and we're going to take it to 100% opacity, and we're just going to brush it straight across here, from here to about here. Hold down the shift key. Okay, and then again here to here. Let's do one more. Okay, so then what we're going to do from there is we're going to convert this to a smart object, and then we're going to go to filter, blur and Gaussian blur. So add a little bit of blur to it there. Okay, and then what we want to do is I just want to stretch this down just a little bit here. Just like that there. Okay, click off it. Okay, so now from there what we want to do is we want to add a layer mask, and we want to erase the whole thing to start with, because I like to start adding in just a little bit. So let's go to our white brush, and then we're going to turn the opacity down, and we're just going to start to brush this in. Okay, and then we're just going to extend this out just a little bit. Back there, let's do it again. It's just out just like that there. Okay, don't worry, we're going to work this back in as well, so okay, so we'll go into our black brush, and then we are just going to start to erase this out here. So remember, the black brush is removing and the white brush is showing. Okay, let's turn the opacity down just a little bit. We're just working this in. Just turn the opacity down a wee bit more, and then let's just gradually brush that in there. And that's how we create that little shadow just underneath. Okay, so now the next thing that we want to do is we want to go to our main pot here, and we're just going to add a layer to it. I'm going to make it just a little bit darker at the bottom. So again, a low opacity. I'm just going to make this a little bit darker down here. So that gives the impression of the orange casting that shadow down over the top. I'm going to bring it back just a little bit, so don't worry about that there. And I'm going to add a layer mask. I'm going to use a black brush, and we're just going to blend it in there. and that creates that nice feel of the orange shadowed at the base there. Okay, if we turn that on and off, you're just going to see that there. Okay, and the same with the spout. We just want to go to the spout here, just here, new layer above it, and then on our black brush, we're just going to shadow this in just a little bit. Just turn that off there. Okay, and then let's just turn that back on, and we're just going to turn the opacity down on that burn layer just a little bit. Just like that there. And that gives the impression that it's casting that shadow onto the spout as well. So the next thing we want to do is we want to add a smoke layer here. So if we just go in here, and if we just get our smoke brush, yeah, let's go with this one here. And then if we change this to, let's go white with this actually. And we're going to add this in just here. Okay. And then let's get another one. Okay. And then we're going to add a layer mask to this here. And go to our hard brush here. And a black brush. And we're just going to brush along here, because it's not coming out there. Okay, and then we're going to just stretch our canvas, we're going to stretch our smoke up, so unlink it up here, and we're just going to stretch this out like that, and out like this, bring it back down. So as you can see, that's now given the impression of the smoke coming off of the pot there as well. And then what we want to do is we want to just adjust our lid, orange lid there, and we want to add a curves layer here. We'll link it to it here as well, and then we're just going to drag our curves up just to lighten that up just a little bit there. Looks quite good there. And we've got one on the main pot, curves, linking to it. Let's bring it up just a little touch. Yep, that looks quite good there. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to add a little bit of shadow into our spout here as well, and I might add a little bit more shadow just to here as well. So what we're going to do is if we just go to our spout, and then we want to add, let me just see here, so let's just adjust our curves there just a little bit here. I feel that looks a wee bit better there, like that. And then what we want to do is we're going to just add a little bit of shadow here, so that's our shadow there, so we'll call that shadow. Okay, and then we want to add another one, and we'll call this shadow there. You can name it whatever you want, as long as you know where your item is. That's the main thing. Okay, so let's go to, again, a black layer, a black brush, and then we're going to be on a soft brush, and I've got it set to about 16% opacity. I'm just going to brush just here, just like that. And I feel that's going to give us just that little bit of definition that we need to make it feel a little more three-dimensional As you can see, there's a turn that on and off. Okay, go to our handle. Here's our handle here. We're going to add our new layer here, and then again we're going to do exactly the same thing with a black brush. Okay, about 16%, and then we're just going to brush this in right about here, and that's going to give us a little bit more definition to our handle here. And then what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to add a layer mask, and then I like to just kind of pull it back just a little bit. I always go a wee bit too far, and then I sort of pull it back just a little bit. Okay. Turn that on and off. You can see it just adds that little bit of shading to the handle there. So now from there, what we're going to do is we're going to add a little label to our image. Okay, so the way that we're going to do this is a couple of ways we can do it. We can do it right on the page, or we can do it non-destructively. So we'll do it non-destructively. So we're going to go to File, New, and we're going to open up a new canvas here, but we're going to open it up as a transparent background like this here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to choose a colour. So let's go with something like this here. Okay, so it's kind of like close to an orange, but just a bit deeper. So what we're going to do here is we're going to actually use this whole canvas here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use our paint bucket, and we're going to fill that in right there. Okay, let's fill that in. And then what we're going to do is we are going to add a layer mask here, and that's going to allow us to take away from our image here. Okay, so we're going to find the center here, and it'll just, again, if we use our guidelines here just at the side, we drag them over and you'll feel it snap into position. See it just snapping in there? That's the center. Okay, going to do the same from the top, bring our guideline down, and you see it snapping there into place. So that's us now in the center of our image. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to basically get rid of the corners here. So straight across, we're just going to bring them in here. So if we press and then hold down the shift key straight across, again just from here, press and hold down the shift key straight across. Okay, and then we're going to press here, hold down the shift key, okay, and then we're going to press again, hold down the shift key, and that's going to give us our shape here. It's quite good there. And then I just want to create a shape just here, so I'm just going to press down to the center, so hold down the shift key again, now it doesn't have to be completely tidy, and we're going to do the same at the bottom, creating this little shape here to the center, here, center, here. Okay, I think that looks quite good there. We're going to put a layer just below here. Okay, so we'll go below our main subject here, and then we are just going to add a lighter shade just underneath. So here, 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 just adding a little line in. Okay. So now we've got this here, we're going to now add a little glow in the centre of this here. So again, we're just going to take our brush, we're going to be on, let's see, say about 24%. Let's put this up large here. We're going to add a new layer to this here, so we can play about with it here. So as large as we can go. Oh, and make sure that we're on a soft brush. Okay, and maybe one more there. Okay, and then what we can do from that is we can then hold down our option key and we can enlarge this up here. Okay, so just like that there. And then link these two together and we'll convert them into a smart object. And then all we want to do is just drag our whole image into our main image, and then what we can do is we can just shrink this down, just down like this here. Okay, so just there like that. Now if we hold down the command key, we can actually push this back just a little bit to see how it's sort of got it leaning and kind of not exactly straight onto the camera. So it gives it that little bit of extra there. Okay, so we want to add a little bit of shadow just behind our label there. Okay, so we call this label. Okay, and then we're going to put a new layer and we call this shadow. Okay, and then we're just going to add again our black brush here. Let's take it from here, and we're just going to be on a soft brush. I'm going to leave it on 20% opacity. Just add a little bit around here. Okay, and then we're going to add a layer mask to this, and we're just going to change the shape with the black brush here, just so it looks more like our label there. Okay, and from here we want to soften this just a little bit more, so about 19%, bring our brush bigger and just sort of brush just a little bit here. Okay, I think that looks quite good there. And I want to actually convert this into a smart object. And then we're going to go to filter, blur, and our Gaussian blur. See, it's too heavy there, so if we bring that blur down, put it just about there. And then what we can do is on our label, we can add a text layer. Okay, so let's go to our text here and let's choose a text that we're going to use. Let's use this one here, and then we want it to be a light colour, but let's say I'm going to make it about that there. Okay, and we're just going to put T, just like that, and then stick it here. But what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to tilt this. Okay, so so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the text to just a fancier text, and then what we want to do is we want to convert this to a smart object, And that will then allow us to then take our writing and just change it for the angle, so it's not going straight towards the camera. Okay, if we hold down our command key and just pull that there, then we can just enlarge it just a little touch. Now with our label that we've got here, I just want to add a little curves layer to it, link it to it, and then I'm just going to bring it just a little bit larger because I just want to brighten it up just a little bit. I think that looks quite good there. Okay, so we have our T here, label, and the shadow. Okay, and I'm just going to shift it over just a little touch here. Just about here, so it's quite good. So then the next thing we want to do, let's just put these into groups as we go along. So let's put this into label, and then we have our smoke here. And then we have our orange lid. Then we have the top. Top of the pot. Okay, and then this one we have our main teapot body, and then we have our spout opening. And our spout. Okay. And this is our handle. Okay, so now what we want to do is under our label, we want to add a new layer under our label, and we're going to get, let's get just a kind of white, not pure white, but it's just a little off white brush, and then we want to be on a hard brush here, and we want this to go, let me see, so we want this to go underneath the orange lid as well, so let's just put this below here. That will go below everything, and then we want to go here, we want to be on 100% opacity, so let's go here, round to here, round, and up and under. Okay, so that gives us a little line there, and then what we want to do is we want to go underneath that. Okay, so this is our string, okay, and this is the shadow of the string. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to take this here, and we want to take a black brush again, deep colour, just here, and then we want to be on a nice soft brush. Okay, and let's see here. I want to go just a little bit bigger, I think. Just going to go here, under, and under here. Okay. So we're going to convert that to a smart object. Okay, and we're going to go to filter, blur, and Gaussian blur. And let's just blur this out just a little bit here. And then we're just going to turn the opacity down just a little touch there. Let's just take this and we'll put it into a group. So we'll call it label string. Okay, so that gets us everything together there. Okay, so then with our label, what we want to do is we want to duplicate this label here. Okay, so the T cars label, but not the shadow. We don't want to duplicate the shadow. Take that out there. And then we are just going to move this out of here. And we're going to convert that into a smart object. So let's just move it out the way first of all. And we are going to go edit, transform, and flip vertical. Okay, we'll bring it down below here. Let's just bring it down like so. So we're holding down our command key to obviously transform it down. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to convert those ones into a smart object, and these are just the reflection of the label. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a layer mask, take a black brush, 27% opacity, and we're just going to bring it up larger, and we're just going to black brush, okay, back to our white brush here again, turn this down just a little bit, and then we're just going to bring this back in here, and that gives us that little reflection. Just change the reflection angle here, I think. So let's just hold our command key, with everything selected. Then what we can do is we can just move it to where we want it to be. More in the center of the image, I think. Okay, I think that looks really good there. So now that we've moved it down and into position, that's us with our final image, and I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. And if you want to learn more, you can sign up to the Drumhouse Photography Education, and you'll find a link in the bio.